You know, everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals, desires for change, growth, and progress. But the reality is, there is a big difference between dreams and what you actually do to achieve them. This is where training comes in. Because it's not just a physical activity. Training is action. It's discipline. It's what allows you to turn intentions into tangible results. Maybe so far, you haven't taken the plunge yet, or maybe you've given up along the way. But let me tell you one thing, 2025 can be your year. A year where you choose to overcome your excuses. A year where you choose to take control. Why now? Why not tomorrow? Because tomorrow doesn't exist. It's only in the present moment that you have the power to act. And I'm not just talking about physical training. No, when I talk about training, I'm talking about training in every aspect of your life. This is the year you're going to strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, and reinforce your character. A year where you become stronger every day, where you break through barriers you thought were unreachable. We live in a time when it's easy to get caught up in routine, in the distractions of modern life. You know, those distractions that tell you not today, tomorrow will be better. Those excuses that stop you from becoming the person you know deep down you can be. But here's the truth. There's no tomorrow in the world of personal progress. All you have is today, this very moment. And in this moment you choose. Maybe you tell yourself that training isn't for you, or that it's too hard, or that you don't have time. But let me ask you another question. When will you start taking care of yourself? When will you start investing in your own success? Because in reality, the greatest investment you can make is in yourself. You are your priority. Nothing else will be as important as your well-being, your health, your strength. It all starts with you. I know that many people, at the start of every year, say to themselves, "This time, I'm going to change everything." And unfortunately, very few keep that promise. Why? Because they underestimate the power of discipline and temporary comfort. It's easy to start, but the real question is, what happens after the first burst of motivation? What do you do when the excitement fades and reality sets in? This is where discipline takes over. This is where training becomes not just a habit, but a lifestyle. In 2025, it's time to make a choice. It's time to decide what you really want to accomplish, and more importantly, how you're going to go about achieving it. Because if you want growth, if you want to become a better version of yourself, you'll have to step out of your comfort zone. You'll have to face obstacles, failures, moments of doubt, and that's okay. That's even what makes this adventure exciting. You see, the process of transformation isn't linear. There are highs, there are lows, moments when you'll be on the verge of giving up. But every step, every challenge, is an opportunity. It's a chance to prove that you're stronger than your excuses, stronger than fear. And every time you choose to persevere, you build a version of yourself that's greater than you ever imagined possible. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture yourself at the end of 2025. What version of yourself would you like to be? Imagine your body stronger, your mind sharper, your energy limitless. Imagine yourself standing tall, more confident, more determined. Imagine the proud look you'll have in the mirror, knowing you've gone through trials, that you've trained with discipline, that you've pushed your limits. And this isn't just a dream, it's truly possible. It's not a matter of luck, it's not reserved for an elite few. It's within your reach, but it starts now. Every day counts. Every moment you choose to train, every step you take, you're moving toward that version of yourself you envision. So stop putting it off until tomorrow. Training in 2025 starts today. Motivation is a precious thing, but it never lasts forever. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those moments when you feel invincible, ready to face anything, when you're determined to achieve your dreams and goals. But then the everyday grind takes over. Distractions pile up, fatigue sets in, and that energy becomes harder and harder to maintain. This is where the real difference is made, because motivation is fleeting, but discipline is what moves you forward when motivation fades. Discipline is what allows you to continue, even when you don't feel like it. And this is what makes champions, leaders, and those who succeed at reaching their goals. You want to know what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not incredible talent. It's not extraordinary luck. No, what makes the difference is consistency, discipline. It's the small daily actions, repeated relentlessly, day after day, that lead to impressive results. Every little effort you make, every repetition, every minute spent working on yourself, makes a difference. And the more you commit to this discipline, the more it becomes second nature. It becomes who you are. You see, success isn't a one-time event, a moment when everything aligns perfectly. It's a process, a journey, made up of thousands of small steps. You don't reach your goal in a single day. No, you get there by making choices every day, by getting up each morning and deciding that you're going to continue, even when you're tired, even when you have other priorities, even when you don't feel like it. And this is where many people go wrong. They believe that to succeed, they need to be motivated all the time. But in reality, it's disciplined people who succeed, because they know it's not about motivation. It's about choosing to act, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is understanding that every little effort counts. It's not just what you do every now and then, but what you do every day. Consistency is the key to transformation. If you train one day, make an effort, and then stop for a week, you won't achieve anything. But if you train every day, even for 10, 15, or 20 minutes, even when you don't feel like it, you will see results. They'll be gradual at first, but over time, these small actions will accumulate, and you'll reach levels you never thought possible. But consistency isn't just about frequency, it's about quality. You need to commit to doing your best at every step. It's not just about showing up and ticking the boxes. No, it's about being fully present in what you do, whether it's in your workouts, in your career, or even in your relationships. It's the level of intensity you put into your daily actions that will make the difference, because half-hearted effort, even every day, won't lead to great results. Discipline is about giving it your all, no matter the circumstances. You may have days when motivation is low, when everything seems difficult, but those are the days when your discipline must shine, because those are the days when discipline carries you forward, when you choose to keep going, even when everything around you is telling you to stop. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they start a new project, whether it's losing weight, training more regularly, or learning a new skill, is looking for shortcuts. They want quick results. But the truth is, there are no shortcuts to lasting success. There's only consistent work, and that work can be tough. Sometimes it feels thankless, but every effort you make today brings you closer to your dreams, even if you don't see it immediately. You've probably noticed how easy it is to get swept away by the temptation to take shortcuts. Quick solutions always seem appealing. But discipline is about choosing the hard road, the one that requires sustained effort, sacrifice, and perseverance. It's this road that leads to lasting results, to real success. It's this discipline that day after day ensures you never stop, even when the initial enthusiasm fades away. You see, discipline doesn't depend on your mood. It's there to support you in the moments when you don't want to keep going, when you're tired or discouraged. It's your inner drive, the one that pushes you to do what you need to do, no matter how you feel. And even though the daily effort might sometimes seem insignificant, let me tell you something. Small daily victories are what build huge successes in the long run. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It comes from those repeated moments when you choose to act, to rise, to train, to improve. It's the accumulation of these small steps that produces impressive results. If you take one action today, another tomorrow, and yet another the day after, you'll find yourself with a chain of small progressions that after a few months will make a huge difference. Remember, discipline doesn't mean you can't have days when you rest or take time for yourself. It's not a never-ending race. What it's about is being consistent, being present each day in what you do. It's about being able to rise after a failure, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep moving forward. Discipline allows you to stay on track even in tough times. It allows you to get back on the path to your goals, even when distractions and fatigue pull you away. Consistency and discipline are the pillars of success, but they're also the foundations on which you build your life. They allow you to become stronger, more resilient, more determined. Every day you become an improved version of yourself. And it's not a quick process. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. A marathon in which you choose to give your best, day after day. It's this process that shapes your character and leads you toward greatness. Do you want to know why discipline and consistency work? Because they leave no room for excuses. They force you to take responsibility for your future. They remind you that your results are in your hands. It's not the outside world that decides your success. It's you. Every action you take today creates the future you want. If you want success, you must commit to creating it, building it, maintaining it, day after day. And that's exactly what discipline and consistency offer you. If you choose to invest in your discipline, you're also choosing a life of results. You'll become a person who not only achieves their goals but transforms with every step, evolving and growing with every effort, every failure, every success. Because at the end of the day, it's your discipline and consistency that will determine whether you succeed or not. And I believe you can succeed. Mentally preparing for training is one of the most crucial steps to achieving sustainable and meaningful results. It's not just about preparing your body for effort. It's about preparing your mind to face challenges and overcome the obstacles that will stand in your way. The mind plays a key role in every aspect of your training, and it can make the difference between those who give up and those who persevere until they reach their goals. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the temptation to procrastinate, especially when it comes to training. Excuses quickly pile up. I'm tired. I don't have time. It's not the right time. Yet it all begins with a mental choice. This choice may seem insignificant at first glance, but in reality it's a game changer. Your mental preparation makes all the difference in how you approach training and ultimately in the results you will achieve. One of the biggest challenges in training is overcoming mental resistance. At the beginning, your mind will probably tell you this is too hard or I can't do this. These thoughts are natural. Anything new or difficult will evoke some form of resistance. But the key lies in how you handle that resistance. What sets successful people apart from those who give up is their ability to face these thoughts and overcome them. Indeed, when you choose not to listen to that inner voice telling you to stop, you demonstrate mental resilience, and it's this resilience that will allow you to progress. Training isn't just about muscles or physical endurance. It's also a mental battle. It's your mind that determines your level of motivation, your ability to keep going when the effort becomes hard, to push your limits. Mental preparation is therefore essential. But how do you mentally prepare for training that will be demanding and at times uncomfortable? The first step is to have a clear vision of what you want to achieve. It doesn't matter what your goal is, whether it's losing weight, gaining strength, or improving your endurance. It's crucial to know where you want to go. This vision becomes your compass. It guides you through the tough times, those moments when you want to quit. Your vision reminds you why you started and what you are trying to achieve. Without a clear vision, you risk losing sight of your goals every time you encounter an obstacle. If you truly want to succeed, you must know exactly what you want to achieve. Set specific, measurable, and realistic goals. Write them down and keep them in mind when things get tough. Next, there's the question of self-confidence. If you want to succeed in training, you need to believe in your ability to overcome challenges and reach your goals. But how do you develop this confidence? It's not about believing in yourself only when everything is going well, but about believing in yourself despite the difficulties. Confidence is built through action. The more you commit to your training, the more you'll see the results of your efforts and the more you'll strengthen your confidence. This can start with small successes, daily victories. Every small victory strengthens your belief in yourself and motivates you to continue. And even if you fail or face obstacles, confidence shouldn't disappear. On the contrary, it's about understanding that failure is part of the process and that each failure is a learning opportunity. Self-confidence grows from experience, not perfection. Managing negative thoughts is also a crucial component of mental preparation. Negative thoughts like "I'm too tired to keep going" or "I'll never succeed" are natural, but they can be destructive if you let them dominate your mind. The key is to recognize them without letting them take control. You can't control every thought that crosses your mind, but you can control your reaction to them. When these thoughts arise, remind yourself why you started. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations, constructive thoughts that remind you of your strength and ability to achieve your goals. Every positive thought you replace is a victory over your mental resistance. Take the time to visualize your success, to see yourself achieving your goals. Visualization is a powerful tool for creating the reality you desire. It allows your mind to project into the future and feel what it's like to reach your goal. The more you visualize your success, the more you increase your chances of achieving it. Another important mental technique is managing discomfort. Training, especially if it's intense, involves a certain level of pain and discomfort. If you're not mentally prepared, this discomfort can become a reason to quit. But understanding that discomfort is part of the process of improvement can radically change your approach. Discomfort is temporary, and it's precisely through it that you get stronger. Every time you resist the temptation to quit during a difficult moment, you become a little stronger mentally. This ability to endure discomfort, to embrace the pain, is what will set you apart from others. Champions are not those who avoid pain, but those who know how to manage it and use it to get stronger. The present moment is also an essential key to mental preparation. Too often we find ourselves thinking about the future, anxious about what training might mean for us in a few weeks or months. But true mental preparation is about being present in the moment. Focus on today's training, on what you can accomplish here and now. Every moment spent training is an opportunity to progress. Remember that every training session, no matter its length or intensity, is a step forward toward your goal. It's also important to manage your expectations. Training is not a linear path to success. There will be days when you are more tired than others, days when progress is slower. But that's part of the process. Don't get discouraged if the results don't come as quickly as you hoped. Success isn't always measured by immediate results, but by perseverance and long-term commitment. Remember that patience is also a form of mental preparation. Finally, remember that mental preparation for training starts long before you step into the gym or begin your session. It starts the moment you wake up in the morning, the moment you decide to commit to training and giving your best. The mindset you adopt before even making your first physical movement determines how you will approach your training. If you tell yourself you're going to give your maximum and see each session as an opportunity to get better, you are already mentally prepared for success. Mental preparation for training is much more than just a state of mind. It's an active process that allows you to overcome obstacles, push your limits, and stay motivated, even in tough times. It's a commitment to yourself, to your progress, and your well-being. If you want to succeed, you must first win this mental battle. You must believe in yourself, accept discomfort, manage your negative thoughts, and be ready to face all difficulties with perseverance. Because in the end, your body will follow, but your mind will always be the driving force behind your success. Pain and sacrifice are often feared concepts, but they are also essential in the training process. When you begin committing to a training program, regardless of your goals, it's inevitable that you will face physical pain, fatigue, discomfort, and sometimes frustration. However, it is precisely these experiences that will shape your body and mind, leading you to surpass your limits and discover potential you didn't even know you had. Pain and sacrifice are not the enemies of training. They are allies, indispensable parts of the transformation process. First, it's essential to understand that the pain associated with training is not passive discomfort, but constructive pain. It's the pain of muscles working, of muscle fibers, tearing and rebuilding to become stronger. It's the pain of mental effort, when you force yourself to continue despite fatigue. It's important to differentiate this constructive pain from pain due to injury, as the physical pain from effort is, for the most part, the price to pay for growth. When you train, your muscles undergo micro-tears, small rips that, over time, are repaired and strengthened. This process of micro-damage and repair leads to muscle hypertrophy. This pain, often perceived as immediate discomfort, is actually a sign that your body is rebuilding, strengthening, and adapting to the new physical demands you place on it. If you want to become stronger, faster, more resistant, you must accept this pain. It's proof that you're engaging in the process of transformation. But why are we afraid of pain? Why try to avoid it at all costs? Pain, whether physical or mental, can seem counterintuitive. We live in a society that values comfort and the avoidance of difficulties. Pain, to some extent, is perceived as something to flee from. Yet it is through pain that we discover our true potential. If you constantly seek refuge in the comfort zone, you'll remain where you are. Pain is a warning signal, but it's also a signal of opportunity. Every time you feel pain, you know you're taking another step toward your goal, pushing a limit, becoming stronger. That being said, physical pain is only part of the story. There is also mental pain, often much harder to manage than physical pain. Training requires a discipline and perseverance that tests your mind as much as your body. Sometimes, you will feel tired, discouraged, or doubt your ability to keep going. This is where sacrifice comes into play. Sacrifice, in terms of training, means making tough choices and giving up certain things that may seem important at the moment in order to achieve a greater goal. This might involve sacrificing time you could have spent with friends or family to train. It may mean delaying immediate gratification for a long-term goal, such as training every day, even when you're exhausted or when you'd rather relax. Sacrifice, in this context, is the investment you make to become the best version of yourself. You won't achieve your goals without sacrifices. Just as you won't get stronger without pain, you won't improve your performance without giving up immediate pleasures or habits that prevent you from thriving. Training demands that you are ready to sacrifice your comfort, your ease, and sometimes even your moments of rest. But this sacrifice is never in vain. On the contrary, it allows you to build a stronger, more disciplined version of yourself. It's not a sacrifice for nothing. It's a sacrifice that pays off in your life, in your body, and in your mind. Imagine this scene. You've had a tough day. You're tired. You don't feel like training. Yet you choose to honor yourself and go to your session. The pain of effort quickly sets in, and your mind tells you to stop, to go home, to find an excuse not to continue. This is when you make the choice of sacrifice. You sacrifice your comfort, you sacrifice the ease, and you choose to stay in the effort. It is this sacrifice that forges you. When you look back after a few months or years, you see not only the physical results of your hard work, but also the person you have become, more resilient, stronger, and more disciplined. Sacrifice is not a burden, it's an investment in your own future. Sacrifice is also linked to prioritization. To reach your goals, there will be times when you must give up certain things. You may have to sacrifice leisure time or adjust your social priorities. You need to constantly ask yourself what is truly important to you. Every decision you make is a sacrifice of something. If you want to excel in your training, you will sometimes have to sacrifice other activities that don't bring you closer to your goal. But remember that sacrifice is not eternal, it's temporary, and the results that follow will be far more valuable than the momentary pleasure you had to set aside. Beyond the pain and sacrifice tied to the training itself, there is also a deeper aspect to consider: the sacrifice of your comfort zone. Training is about pushing yourself out of this zone. It's stepping away from routine, from the everyday, and facing discomfort to grow. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you always seek to remain in your comfort zone, you avoid the effort needed for your evolution. But growth is found outside of comfort, in the moments where you choose to face pain, discomfort, and uncertainty, and where you choose to continue, even when everything seems to tell you to stop. Sacrifice in training is not about giving up pleasurable things or suffering for no reason. It's a conscious choice to prioritize your long-term goals over immediate pleasures. This sacrifice translates into the ability to endure temporary pain in order to gain something much greater in the future. This ability to face pain, discomfort, and uncertainty is what will push you to achieve results that few dare to reach. This is where true transformation happens. Training, therefore, requires two fundamental elements: pain and sacrifice. Pain reminds you that you are growing, that you are pushing your limits, that you are getting stronger. Sacrifice pushes you to fully commit to your transformation process, to make the necessary choices to get closer to your goal. These two concepts are the pillars of success. If you want to go further, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to be ready to accept pain as a catalyst for growth and sacrifice. What is easy to achieve, what is great? Because in the end, it is this pain, this discipline, and these sacrifices that will make you grow, strengthen you, and bring you where you want to go. Fatigue and moments of discouragement are inevitable in any training or personal goal journey. No matter the level of motivation or initial enthusiasm, there are times when you feel exhausted, when every movement feels like a burden, and when continuing seems insurmountable. These are natural stages in the growth and transformation process, but they should not be seen as definitive obstacles. Learning to manage these moments is crucial for maintaining commitment, motivation, and progress, even during times when everything seems to be working against our efforts. Fatigue, whether physical or mental, can feel overwhelming, but it's not necessarily a sign that we need to stop everything. It's often easy to get overwhelmed by the feeling of exhaustion and think it's time to take a break or even quit entirely. However, fatigue is just a temporary state, a transitional phase in the journey towards the goal. It's the body signaling that it needs recovery. But it's not an excuse to flee from effort. Understanding this is essential. When fatigue begins to set in, it's important to take a moment to listen to your body without giving in to panic. The body needs rest signals, and recognizing the difference between genuine recovery needs and temporary fatigue is crucial. Sometimes, it's simply a lack of sleep or nutrition that can impair performance. And in these cases, a good night's sleep or a nutritious meal can make a significant difference. But sometimes, fatigue comes from deeper mental factors. In these moments, it's necessary to step back and analyze what is going on in your mind. When fatigue settles in, it can be when doubts and negative thoughts arise, making discouragement even more powerful. It's easy to fall into the temptation of thinking that you're not cut out for this, that the goal is too big or too difficult, or even to compare your progress to others. It's exactly in these moments that managing discouragement becomes crucial. Accepting mental fatigue is not a weakness, but a step in the process. Recognizing that these moments of doubt are temporary and part of the journey towards success is already the first step in managing discouragement. This mental discouragement is often the result of putting too much pressure on ourselves. When we place too much weight on a specific goal or focus solely on reaching a reward at the end, it becomes easy to lose track along the way. The key lies in adopting a different perspective. Instead of focusing only on the final goal, learn to celebrate the small daily victories. These small steps, these discrete but consistent progressions, are just as important as the final goal, recognizing that every day you train or move forward in your process is a victory in itself, helps transform every little step into a source of motivation. It is also essential to remember that fatigue and discouragement are not signs of weakness, but rather moments when the body and mind call for introspection. Moments of fatigue are often an opportunity to reassess what we're doing and why we're doing it. Sometimes, a simple adjustment in how we approach training can help overcome fatigue and reignite motivation. For example, it might be helpful to change the intensity or type of workout to break the monotony and give new meaning to the challenge. In moments of discouragement, it's also helpful to remind yourself of why you started. Reconnecting to your initial motivation can reignite the spark that pushes you forward. It's easy to forget why we embarked on something when the results seem slow to come, but it's crucial to return to that source of inspiration that propelled us at the beginning. Sometimes, all it takes is a little reminder to reconnect with our deeper why, what motivates us beyond the immediate benefits. Another effective method for managing fatigue and discouragement is to break the goal down into smaller steps. When the goal seems too far away, it becomes almost discouraging to reach it. Instead of seeing the final goal as an insurmountable mountain, break it into small pieces, into sub-goals. These smaller steps help maintain focus while providing a sense of accomplishment each time a smaller goal is achieved. This helps maintain consistent motivation without getting overwhelmed by the overall task. It's also important to give yourself permission to fail. Failures are not permanent defeats, but opportunities to learn and readjust. Often we fear failure, which causes stress and mental fatigue. But failure is an integral part of the progression process. Every time you fail or feel like you're not moving fast enough, you have the chance to adjust your strategy, understand what didn't work, and rebound better next time. Accepting that failure is part of learning makes the fatigue less overwhelming, because you know it is temporary and doesn't define your journey. Perseverance is another fundamental element for getting through periods of fatigue and discouragement. It is not ease or the absence of difficulty that leads to success, but the ability to keep going despite adversity. Perseverance is about continuing to fight, getting up after each fall, and questioning yourself without ever giving up. It is in these moments that the greatest change happens, often when you feel on the verge of giving up. The ability to persevere, to take one step after another, even when everything seems against you, is what will ultimately allow you to overcome fatigue and succeed. In some cases, it may be necessary to rethink your training routine to better manage these periods of discouragement. Sometimes, accumulated fatigue is a sign that the training is too intense or that the body hasn't had enough recovery. It might be wise to reassess your approach and incorporate periods of rest and relaxation into your schedule. This doesn't mean abandoning the goal, but rather adapting the method to maximize long-term effectiveness. Overly intense training without breaks often leads to quick burnout, a decrease in motivation, and the risk of injury. It's also helpful to seek support, whether from a coach, a training partner, or people who share your goals. Talking about your doubts and frustrations with someone you trust can help you see things from a different perspective. Social support is often a catalyst for motivation and a great way to overcome feelings of loneliness or doubt. It's easy to think you're alone with your challenges, but sometimes just sharing your concerns helps you realize you're not the only one going through these tough moments. Finally, understanding that fatigue and discouragement are part of a healthy training process is essential for overcoming them. These difficult moments are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for growth. They are marks of your commitment to your personal journey. If you manage them wisely and use them as stepping stones for your progression, you will find that each moment of fatigue brings you closer to your goal, strengthens you, and prepares you to overcome even more adversity. It's this ability to manage fatigue and persevere in moments of discouragement that truly enables you to realize your potential. Failure, in its essence, is perceived as a negative experience, a defeat that we seek to avoid at all costs. However, if you look at failure from a different angle, it can reveal itself to be one of life's greatest teachers. Far from being a sign of the end, every failure carries the potential for transformation. It's about knowing how to perceive it and use it as a springboard for your personal growth, rather than seeing it as an insurmountable obstacle. Transforming each failure into an opportunity requires patience, resilience, and a different perspective on what true success means. First, it's essential to understand that failure is not a finality, but a learning process. In a world that values instant success, failure often seems like a burden. We tend to want to avoid mistakes, to prevent ourselves from falling, because society tends to reward those who succeed quickly and without setbacks. Yet, behind every mistake lies a valuable lesson. Failure is a normal and natural step in any growth process. It's in the moments when we fall that we have the opportunity to rise with more strength, wisdom, and understanding. The real problem isn't failure itself, but how we perceive it and react to it. When failure occurs, it's easy to fall into the temptation of discouragement, self-judgment, or frustration. This is where it all matters. Rather than running from failure or seeing it as a sign of our incompetence, we must adopt an approach where each setback becomes an opportunity for reassessment and readjustment. When failure is well understood, it becomes a chance to better know ourselves, to understand what didn't work, to seek new strategies, and to test other methods. The first aspect of transforming failure into an opportunity is to accept it as part of the journey. Every path to success is paved with difficulties. If you choose to embrace this aspect of the process, you stop seeing failure as something unfair or useless. It becomes simply a given, a fact, a reality that you must deal with. The more you accept that failure is an integral part of the journey, the more resilient you will become in the face of it. Failure no longer needs to be a deep wound, but an opportunity to adjust your trajectory, to evolve, and to acquire new skills. Next, it's crucial to shift your perspective on failure itself. When we fail, we often focus on what we've lost, what we've missed, and this can trap us in a cycle of negative thoughts. But it's possible to flip this dynamic by focusing on what we can gain through failure. Every mistake is a laboratory of experimentation. It's a place where we test hypotheses, understand what doesn't work, and adjust our strategies. If you take each failure as an opportunity to learn, you'll see it's never entirely negative. Failure shows you what didn't work, what stopped you from moving forward, and opens doors to try new approaches. Looking back, it becomes clear that every failure is an opportunity to improve not only your methods but also your mindset. When you face a difficulty or setback, it's natural to feel down or even discouraged. However, it is often in these moments that we discover the inner strength we are capable of. This is when you must decide if you want to keep moving forward or stop. Choosing to continue despite the failure gives you a better understanding of your own resilience, and this inner strength will become part of your toolkit to overcome the next challenges. Transforming a failure into an opportunity also involves seeing beyond the short term. Immediate success is a pleasant reward, but it's not always the best measure of long-term achievement. Sometimes, failure is the catalyst that propels us toward a more evolved version of ourselves. If you never fail, it's probably because you haven't yet taken real risks. People who succeed in the long run are those who have learned to use their mistakes to bounce back stronger. They understand that every failure contains a crucial lesson that brings them closer to their goals. Instead of mourning past mistakes, they look for lessons to adjust their direction. It's also essential to cultivate a growth mindset to leverage failure. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and skills can be developed through practice, effort, and learning. Thus, every failure becomes a springboard for continuous improvement. When you face a setback, instead of telling yourself you don't have what it takes to succeed, you simply say you've found a method that doesn't work, but there are certainly others. Such a perspective radically transforms how you approach failure, viewing it not as an end, but as an opportunity to continue learning and evolving. It's the belief that every failure is just one more step toward your goal. It's also important to understand that failure is not personal. Many of us interpret it as a sign of incompetence, as if failing means we are incapable of succeeding. However, failing does not mean you are a failure as an individual. It simply means that the solution or approach chosen didn't work, and it's time to find another path. When you separate your identity from failure, you stop taking it personally. You see failure as an event, not as a definition of your value or potential. It's this ability to dissociate failure from self-esteem that allows you to continue moving forward without losing confidence in yourself. Sometimes, it's necessary to take a step back and reconsider your goals. Failure can be an opportunity to ask yourself if the goals you've set are still the right ones, or if a reassessment is necessary. Is the chosen direction really what excites and motivates you? Failures can be signals that something needs to be adjusted. They can help you understand whether you're pursuing goals that truly align with your values and long-term vision. There's no harm in adjusting your goals along the way, because it's often this reassessment that leads to greater clarity and more sustainable results. Finally, it is essential to take concrete actions after failure. Reflection alone is not enough to turn failure into an opportunity. Action is what allows you to test new ideas and move beyond the setback. After each failure, it's crucial to create an action plan to correct course and move forward differently. This might involve changing your approach, acquiring new skills, or seeking advice. Whatever direction you choose, action is the driving force behind change. Failure then becomes a powerful driver of progress rather than a hindrance to success. Thus, Transforming every failure into an opportunity requires perspective, action, and a constant willingness to learn and improve. It's not failure itself that defines your path, but how you choose to react. Adopting a positive approach focused on learning, growth, and resilience allows failure to become not an obstacle but a key element of your future success. Building a successful training routine in 2025 requires more than just physical exercises. It is a process that integrates planning, motivation, and consistency while taking into account the latest scientific advances and available technological tools. To successfully establish an effective training routine, it is essential to consider not only your specific goals but also your lifestyle, mental health, and your ability to maintain this routine in the long term. First, the key to building a successful routine lies in setting clear goals. It's easy to start a training program by simply saying, "I want to get fit," or "I want to lose weight," but these goals are too vague. In 2025, the trend is to have specific and measurable goals that allow you to track progress over time. This could be running a 5K in under 30 minutes, lifting a certain weight, or practicing yoga for 30 minutes every day. These goals should also be realistic and consider your current fitness level. For example, if you've never run before, aiming for a marathon in a month may not be a good idea. The idea is to set goals that push you to exceed your limits but remain achievable. Once goals are defined, it is important to structure your training routine around variety and balance. One common mistake in training programs is focusing only on one type of exercise, such as running or weightlifting. While these activities are great, it's important to diversify the types of exercises you do to engage your entire body and avoid monotony. For example, alternate between cardio sessions, strength training, mobility work, and recovery. This not only helps prevent injury due to repetitive training, but also keeps motivation intact by offering variety in each session. Training time and session frequency are also crucial elements to consider. In 2025, most people have busy schedules, making it difficult to fit in an hour of training every day. That's why quality matters more than quantity. An effective workout doesn't have to last for hours. Sometimes, 30 to 40 minutes of intense or focused exercises are enough. It is also important to factor in your recovery. While regular training is essential, it's just as necessary to schedule rest periods to allow your body to regenerate. Plan rest days or lighter sessions to avoid overtraining and give your muscles time to rebuild. In addition to physical planning, it is crucial to integrate mental and emotional aspects into your training routine. Training is not just about muscles and calories burned, it's also about strengthening discipline, motivation, and stress management. One of the key elements for maintaining a successful training routine is developing a positive mindset. To do this, mindfulness practices like meditation or deep breathing can help you stay focused and reduce performance anxiety. A positive mental attitude can also be cultivated by focusing on small wins and celebrating your progress, even if it seems minimal. Visualizing your successes and using positive affirmations can also be powerful tools for maintaining long-term motivation. Another trend in 2025 is the use of technology to optimize training. Mobile apps, smartwatches, and performance tracking devices are now essential tools for tracking your progress and adjusting your training routine based on your results. For example, you can use a smartwatch to track your cardio sessions, measure fatigue levels, and adjust your workout intensity based on your stats. Additionally, fitness apps allow you to plan varied training sessions tailored to your goals. One of the advantages of these technologies is that they enable advanced personalization. They give you the ability to receive instant feedback and adjust your program as you progress, which significantly improves your efficiency. Of course, one of the most important aspects of a successful training routine is consistency. Success doesn't depend on the intensity or frequency of the first few weeks, but on the ability to maintain the effort over time. To achieve this, you must plan your sessions realistically based on your schedule. Set short-term goals that motivate you to stay on track, but avoid imposing unrealistic expectations on yourself. For example, if you know you can train 3 times a week, don't aim for 6 sessions from the start. The goal is to create habits that will become natural over time. In 2025, there is an increasing focus on making training accessible and sustainable. The environment in which you train also plays an important role in maintaining your routine. You can either train at home or in a gym. Regardless of where you choose to train, it is crucial that the space is organized and conducive to physical effort. A cluttered, noisy, or uninspiring environment can hinder your focus and motivation. On the other hand, having a well-organized space with the right equipment or even a motivating playlist can have a positive impact on your commitment. Finally, it is important to take care of your nutrition to optimize your performance. In 2025, sports nutrition has become more advanced with personalized advice and specific diets for different types of training. A good training routine cannot be effective without nutrition that supports your physical efforts. Consuming foods rich in protein to promote muscle recovery, carbohydrates for energy, and healthy fats for recovery is essential. Furthermore, hydration is a key factor in physical performance, and it is crucial to drink enough water before, during, and after training. In short, building a successful training routine in 2025 requires a balanced and thoughtful approach. It is necessary to set clear goals, integrate variety into your workouts, maintain a positive mindset, and use technology to track your progress. Consistency, adapting to your personal needs, and managing nutrition and rest are all essential elements for making your training program a real success. Your future is in your hands. These words carry immense power. They are both a challenge, an invitation, and a promise. The future you envision, the one you wish to achieve, is not a distant, unreachable destination. No, it is in your actions, in your daily choices, in your ability to persevere and believe in yourself, no matter the obstacles. It resides in how you rise after each fall, how you adjust your course after every failure, and most importantly, in the determination with which you pursue your dreams. The fact that your future is in your hands means you have control. No one else holds the keys to your success. No one can force your decisions or define your path. Of course, external events and unforeseen circumstances will sometimes disrupt your plans, but ultimately, it is your response to these events that shapes your future. You have the power to choose how to react to each challenge, how to bounce back after each failure, and how to turn every difficulty into an opportunity for growth. The greatest obstacle many of us face in life is often self-doubt. We tend to ask ourselves if we are capable, if we have the necessary resources, or if our dream is simply unattainable. This doubt, although natural, should not become a hindrance. The truth is, everything you want to accomplish starts with a decision. The decision to believe in yourself, to take the reins of your life, and to begin moving toward what seems impossible. Hesitation is the enemy of action. The moment you decide to take action, to fully commit to your dreams and goals, is when everything begins to change. If you wait until you have all the answers or are perfectly prepared, you will remain stagnant. The key lies in the courage to start, even when everything is not yet perfectly clear. Every step you take, every decision you make, builds your future, and it happens at every moment. Nothing is fixed, nothing is final, and even though the road is full of obstacles, every effort you make brings you closer to what you desire. It is in constant action that the secret to all success lies. If you wait for the ideal situation to begin, you risk missing the best opportunity, the opportunity to progress over time, to learn, to adapt, and to improve at every step. Another fundamental aspect of shaping your future is practicing resilience. Life is never linear. You will face ups and downs, failures and successes, but the way you react to difficulties defines the trajectory of your life. Resilience is not an innate quality. It is a skill developed over time, through the challenges you face. Every obstacle is an opportunity to strengthen your inner resistance. When you face pain, disappointment, or failure, instead of being defeated, you have the power to choose to rise again, to learn from the experience, and to persist in your quest. Life will test your determination, but it is your ability to continue despite the obstacles that will lead you to success. Consistency is also a key element in building a solid future. Small daily actions are those that over time have the greatest impact. There is no need to change everything overnight. It is the regular efforts, supported by discipline, that form the foundation of a bright future. If you choose to be disciplined and move forward every day, even by taking small steps, you will see incredible progress over time. Consistency is not just a factor of success. It also shapes your character. It pushes you to persevere, even when motivation wanes, and reminds you that achieving great goals is not about spectacular actions but about sustained effort and perseverance. Another essential component of the future you create is never stopping learning. Life never stops evolving, and to stay in sync with it, it is crucial to remain curious and open to change. The ability to learn and evolve is one of the greatest strengths you can have. In 2025, the world is changing rapidly, and the opportunities to acquire new skills and perfect oneself are all around us. The internet, online courses, books, podcasts, and even human interactions are inexhaustible resources. To build your future, it is essential to stay in a personal development mindset, acquire new skills, and challenge your preconceived ideas. This will not only allow you to adapt to a constantly changing world, but also give you the chance to discover new passions and new horizons. It is also essential to cultivate gratitude. Too often, we focus on what we don't have or what we still desire. However, gratitude helps shift your perspective and become aware of the many blessings already present in your life. Being thankful for what you have, for the small victories as well as the big ones, helps you move forward with a light heart and renewed energy. Gratitude also nurtures your motivation. The more you are grateful for the progress you've made, even if it seems small, the more you encourage yourself to move forward and continue your journey. Finally, don't forget that your future is not just a personal quest, but also an impact on others. When you fully commit to your own growth, you become a role model, an inspiration to those around you. Your success, your progress, and your ability to overcome difficulties positively influence your environment. By sharing your achievements and offering help to those in need, you contribute to creating a community of resilient, motivated, and supportive individuals. This makes your own path even more meaningful and offers you a deeper sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. The future you want to create is already taking shape in your choices today. Every decision, every action, every thought contributes to leading you toward the life you desire. Your future is in your hands, and it is both a promise and a responsibility. It's up to you to decide the energy, time, and effort you invest to create the life you deserve. The only real power you have is the ability to shape your future through the strength of your actions, the clarity of your goals, and the unwavering commitment you put into every moment of your life.